top. Shot! Scores! Coburg wins the RBC Cup!
This is the OJ Today. What's up, everyone? I'm Bastyovanszky. Thank you so much for taking the time to tune in today. And Game 3 on the CHCH Game of the Week schedule was broadcast coast to coast across Canada last weekend. Now, it was a North Division showdown this time. First place Pickering facing the team trying to chase them down. Second place Aurora. The fur was flying as the Panthers and Tigers squared off on Saturday. Highlights in this segment are brought to you by Instat. Instat is the official analytics supplier to the OJHL. And as mentioned, the Tigers are trying to catch Pickering for first place in the North, but it was the visitors that draw first blood.
Now Tomlinson tipped in front, they score! Ian Martin on the rebound, and the Pickering Panthers open the scoring 56 seconds into the power play.
It stayed that way until the second period. Again on the power play, Brendan Tomlinson's point shot finds its way past Nolan Boyd, and Panthers were up 2-0. Aurora pushes back, though. The initial stop is made. The puck just sits there, though. Set Ursul Marzo bangs it home, and it was just a one-goal contest. Third period now. Pickering looking for some insurance, and they think they've got some here. Alex Papas-Peropoulos thinks he's got the marker, but hold on. The officials confer, and they say he kicked it in, so no goal. But regardless, they would eventually add an empty netter as the Panthers hold on for the 3-1 win. And the game of the week, the final one of the season, resumes next week, and this one is going to be a doozy as you've got Wellington in Trenton. East Division rivals, Saturday, March 5th, 3 p.m. puck drop at Duncan Memorial. Of course, the Dukes trying to chase down Trenton for first place in the East. There were some huge comebacks in games last week. This was one of them. Patriots facing the Rangers. Toronto already up 2-0 when Joseph Martino makes it 3. Big lead for the Pats. The problem was there were still 2 periods left to play, and the Rangers chip away at it. Wilson Farrell gets the Rangers on the board right there, and then Zach Offhoven parks himself at the side of the net. Roof Daddy and NYR trailed by just a single goal. They complete the comeback in the third frame. Jaden Kandata to Daniel Petrecchia. It's all tied up, and this one needed overtime to decide things.
1.7 to go. Face-off is from the shot scores! It's in! Right as the buzzer goes! The Rangers win it in overtime. Are you kidding?
The buzzer beater from Luca Rea. Heart-pounding stuff. The Rangers come back and win it. Another great game here. Northern rivals Aurora and Collingwood hooking up on Family Day. With the game tied 1-1, Justin Biraben absolutely murders that one-timer. 2-1 Aurora, and credit to Seth Ursa Marzo with an assist here. Even though it doesn't show up on the game sheet, he hammers Taylor Barnett, forces the turnover. Hollander Thompson deposits it. 3-1 Cats, but Barnett makes up for it big time, showing off the slick hands right there. This one needed overtime as well.
Doucette, pass in the high slot, that misses. Hooten has a chance to turn, 2-on-1 for the Blues. Sage catching up, McCullum the only player back. To McCullum, or to Sage, they score! Just inside the post! And a big goal for the Blues as they move themselves back into second place in the North Division.
What a back and forth affair from Eddie Bush Arena. Those two teams currently tied for second in the North. Okay, players, listen up. If you think you've got what it takes to play in the Ontario Junior Hockey League, this is your chance. The OJHL Combine, your opportunity to strut your stuff in front of all 22 OJ clubs. The 5th annual Combine is taking place between April 21st and the 24th at the Wave Sports Center in Burlington. Spots available for 132 players. You are guaranteed 3 games with real-time scoring. OJHLcombines.ca to register for the event. Performers of the Week now brought to you by Warrior, the official hard goods supplier to the OJHL, and I think this might be the third time this season Selby Warren has won the Goaltender of the Week award. Incredible. 2 wins, including 2 blank sheets last week to propel the Junior Canadians forward as they continue to try and chase down North York. And D-man Robert Strachan of the Georgetown Raiders getting the Offensive Player of the Week. Not bad. The 6'5" tower of power showing his offensive chops. 6 points in 3 games last week for the Georgetown Raiders. Welcome back to the OJ Today, everyone. The Battle of Halton region resumed last weekend, the Milton and Oakville version anyway. And for years, this was a rivalry that the Blades absolutely dominated, winning multiple titles over the years. But the tables have turned this season, at least up until this point. Oakville has been looking up the standings at Milton all season long, and the 2 teams squared off on Saturday. Highlights in this segment are brought to you by Clean Quip. Clean Quip is the official disinfectant supplier to the OJHL. Milton is an offensive juggernaut this season, but the Blades were the ones to strike first.
He shoots that one in and Turpin collects. Turned over by the Blades. A chance down low, shot, scores!
Jake Alcaraz makes it 1-0 Blades, just $1.58 in. Soon after, Josh Kudo showing off the sweet hands, the backhander from in close. That makes it 2-zip Oaktown, but then absolute beauty here. This looks like the Globetrotters versus the Generals. Slick puck movement, Holden Rogers, the big finish. It's 2-1. Second stands up. Milton really cranks it up. Lucas Buzziol over to Andrew Horsley. He goes stick side, and it was all tied up 2-2. And 2 minutes later, the tic-tac-toe passing. Ethan Sims jams it home. That made it 3-2 for the Menace, and they would ultimately hold on for a 5-4 win. And they now sit comfortably second in the West Division. It was a rough weekend for the Toronto Patriots. They blew that lead against North York and then hosted Trenton Saturday. Scoreless until the third. Jake Campbell breaks the goose egg with the quick shot. 1-0 for the Jayhawks. That opened the floodgates. Stephen McDonald flying down the wing. Manages to find daylight past Kyle Curtin. The Hawks would go on to add 2 more after that to win this going away. They take down the Patriots 4-0, your final score. And the fun continued, not so much, but yeah, for the Pats as they hosted Wellington the next day. Another Eastern powerhouse, and oh boy, all Dukes. Barrett Joint gets the party started, 5:42 in. $1.30 later, watch this one. Emmett Pierce off the bar and in. Take another look. The hand-eye coordination. Blue Jays sign this guy up. Impressive stuff. And then Joint adds his second of the opening period, tipping home the Alex Case shot. That made it 3-zip for the Dukes of Wellington. We will spare you the rest of the carnage. The Dukes take this one 8-2 as they continue to try to chase down Trenton for first in the East. This might have been the weirdest game of the weekend. Georgetown and Stouffville. It was all G-Town in the first. Reese Chittenden, the sweet solo effort, makes it 1-zip for the red and black attack. 5 minutes later, Offensive Player of the Week, Robbie Strachan, the D-man, the wrister, making it a 2-goal advantage. Then Brandon Kay picks Riley Rogers' pocket. He goes roof daddy. I mean, the Raiders were cruising. They led 4-0 after the first period. Like the RMS Titanic, though, they hit the ice hard in the second and sunk like a stone. Carson Whitson gets Stouffville on the board. 10 minutes later, Ryan Cutler jumps on the mistake, and the deficit was now just 2 goals. 3 minutes after that, Peter Clusis somehow sneaks it over the shoulder of Michael Kingo. It's 4-3. And then it's a Spirit power play. Riley Rogers finding the twine. Georgetown absolutely reeling. It was tied up. And then the 2-on-1. Odaro Iwar to Josh Schmidt. I mean, wow. 5 unanswered goals by the Spirit in the second. They would add an empty netter. Kudos to Stouffville for the massive comeback, but the Raiders won't forget that one anytime soon. Alumni news. Ryan Teverberg, formerly of the Toronto Junior Canadians. He He was drafted by the Leafs back in 2020, named Hockey East Co-Player of the Week. He is now a star with the Yukon Huskies. Way to go, Ryan. And the CJHL rankings came out as of February 21st. This might be the best showing for OJ teams, the number of teams anyway in the top 20. JRCs, Pickering, Burlington, North York, and Milton and Trenton getting honorable mentions as well. 60-second spotlight now, brought to you by Troy Hockey. Troy is the official apparel provider to the Ontario Junior Hockey League.
Robbie Strachan, defenseman, Georgetown Raiders.
Strachan bringing Strachan, shoots, scores! Robert Strachan!
I think as a player I can bring obvious size, and as a defenseman with my size I can also bring good skating. On top of that I play a two-way game and I also have good vision.
Strachan, makes the move, shoots, scores!
Yeah, I mean being as tall as I am, 6'5", I mean it has obviously its benefits. It's nice being out there and I don't know, being bigger than guys and you can out-muscle guys easier. And
oh my! Crunched him to the ice!
Yeah, I mean, it's nice, me being 6'5", and then having a coach like Jeff who's 5'5". Me, Jeff, all the guys, we have a lot of fun around the room. We poke fun at each other, but it's all love. I think we got a great group of new, younger guys who came in. We also have plenty of skill, and our defending and goaltending is good as well.
Strachan shoots, scores! Robert Strachan again, oh my goodness!
Another pass over to O'Mara. O'Mara back to Reddick. There's the shot. He scores! Couple of nice passes, and Reddick finishes it off with his second of the game. And Collingwood has a power play marker.
Hey, welcome back to the OJ Today, everyone. And yeah, the Collingwood Blues are having a fantastic season so far. And joining me today to talk about the team's performance is the Blues general manager, Mike Tarantino. Mike, long time no see. How you doing, buddy?
Good, Alex. Thanks for having me on.
It's great to chat with you again, man. It's been a few seasons since we've done this, actually. The last time we talked, you were with the Oakville Blades. You are now, of course, the general manager of the Collingwood Blues, though, and you're having a great season so far. Just talk about the way the team's played up to this point.
You know what? It's been a great experience for myself here, joining the organization. Obviously, taking on a little bit different role, not behind the bench and working behind the scenes along with Jordan in a GM capacity. But the team, like when you have changes in the team here, we kind of put our stamp on, revamped what we were looking for from a culture point of view. Probably a slow start, maybe somewhat expected, somewhat not, but specifically after the break, or we call it the break, the COVID break there, the team's been really headed in a positive direction there. You can see the teamwork, the culture that the coaching staff has put together.
Well, certainly one of the strengths of the team so far this season has been your defensive play. You guys have been airtight. One of the lowest goal totals allowed in the entire league. Is this something that the squad has really been focused on?
Yeah, I mean, you got to be good if you want to win this league. You got to be good in all aspects of the game, defensively, offensively, special teams. I think that starts from our goaltending out. Obviously, we have Noah Flack and then who's committed Yale, very good goaltender, as well as Brett Fullerton, who signed with Saginaw. And between the two of them, whichever one's in net gives us an opportunity to win every night. The deep core, with our returning guys, our veterans, older players, and some of the young guys, we think we've got a real good depth in that part as well. And I think that, and the forwards have bought in defensively as well. So I think everybody's kind of done their part and allowed us to kind of keep the goals low enough to give us a chance to win.
Well, sticking with defense for a second, Ricards Landmanis has been a huge, and I do mean huge, presence. He's 6'7", on your blue line. He's got a scholarship to Alaska Fairbanks University. Just talk about his play for the Blues this season.
Well, Ricky's come in really since the beginning of the year and has brought in a professional approach to the game. I mean, he's a 20-year-old guy who would have been here as 19-year-old, and COVID kind of stopped that from happening for him playing. But He's really our leader on the back end. Wears a letter for us, approaches the game the right way. For a big guy, his feet and hands are very quick. And honestly, I think Alaska's got a hell of a player coming into them next year. I know, kind of following Garrett White's footsteps on that back end there, who was with us, and hopefully, to be honest with you, is their top D right now. So that kind of helped, and I know they're really excited to have him.
Well, offensively, Mike, it's been a pretty balanced approach for you guys so far. There's no one player that's really up there with the league's scoring leaders, but it's been more of a scoring by committee approach. Guys like Reddick, McIntosh, and O'Mara getting things done for you.
Yeah, I mean, we have a little bit younger group up front. Will Reddick obviously is our leader up front and offensively, and he's that kind of most proven guy there. And recently him with Garvey, another proven guy that we acquired in the trade, and a rookie, Mark McIntosh, have really kind of figured out a little bit of chemistry and put it together. Adam O'Mara, Taylor Barnett, and the list goes on. All of these guys can also produce, and we, as you mentioned there, yeah, it's really been scoring by committee, which is great in the sense that it's a tough matchup for other teams, and also you need depth in scoring if you want to win in the playoffs or any type game.
Well, finally, Mike, as I've mentioned before on the show, the town of Collingwood has really embraced this franchise since it came to town. Eddie Bush Memorial Arena, great place to watch a game. Lots of fans coming to games. Great atmosphere. What's it been like up there in Collingwood, and how are you enjoying your time there?
You know what? I've really enjoyed it. As you mentioned there, it's a small town feel. For those people who've been up there for a game, it's really like an old barn. It's loud. The fans, the community is extremely engaged. Our ownership and our marketing team does a great job of promoting the games and stuff like that. But I'm not exactly sure what the fan average would be this year, but it's well over 500, and I guess it's at 500 now with the restrictions. But once things open up, we'll get back up to 800 or 900 on a Friday night. I know the players enjoy playing in front of the crowd, and it's got a great experience. One of the best I've seen in junior hockey.
All right, unfortunately, Mike, that's all the time we've got for today. Really appreciate you coming on the show, though, buddy. Keep up the great work up there in Collingwood, and we'll chat with you later.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, welcome back to the OJ Today, everybody. It was a South Division showdown last weekend as the Toronto Junior Canadians hosted the St. Mike's Buzzers. Now, both were within striking distance of the North York Rangers for first place in the South Division. So little has separated all three clubs this season. So in a race this close, any misstep could have serious consequences in the standings. Highlights now brought to you by Warrior. Warrior is the official hard goods supplier to the OJHL. And file this one under the category of what the huh? When people saw the final score, they could not believe their eyes. Here's why. Tyler Fukakusa gets things started 5-12 in, 1-0 JRCs, and they were just getting going. Second period, leading 3-zip Jeremy Bigras bangs home the garbage out front. 4-0 Canadians at that point. And then late in the frame, Michael Hage, the AP call-up with the sick wrister. It was 5-0, and there was far more carnage still to come. Third period, Tyler Fukakusa back to Matt Wild, 6-0 JRCs. And then with the score 7-zip, Jordan Carafile finds daylight. They would add one more after that. What in the world happened to St. Mike's? This might be the biggest blowout we've seen in the league this season, and these two teams were even in the standings before this game. Bizarre. Markham and Pickering to take on the Panthers. First period, Cats on the charge. Elijah Pilosoff hits Jake Partridge, and Jake makes it 1-zip for the Panthers. Markham responds, though. William Haynes will put it home out front, and it was all tied up 1-1. The Cats would retake the lead for good just a minute later, though. Lucas Lapalme for Ethan Lindsay, and 2-1 for Pickering. In the second, LaPalme goes to work, showing off the dirty dangles and the sweet finish as the Panthers pull away in the end. They take this one by a 6-2 final score over the Royals. Cobourg in Mississauga to take on the Chargers. Not a ton of scoring in this contest. The visitors strike first on the power play. George Cotiris continuing his hot play as he makes it 1-0 right there for the Cats. No more scoring until the third period of play. JP Moreira, call the cops. He gets his pocket picked right there. Charlie DeFonseca profits from the thievery. Some extra insurance for the Cats. They end up taking this one 2-0 over the Mississauga Chargers. Okay, your league leaders now brought to you by NutriFarms. NutriFarms, the official sponsor of the OJHL's Championship Series. And your top 5, there has been movement in the last week. Dalton Bancroft back on top, followed by Brad Summers, Matt Zebedee, and 2 new additions to the top 5, Matthew Wild and Tyler Fukakusa, both of the Toronto Junior Canadians. The standings in the Southeast, North York a 3-point lead over the JRCs. Trenton, 5-point bulge over the Haliburton County Huskies. Wellington in 3rd place there. And in the Northwest, Pickering still a comfortable lead in the North. Burlington a 5-point bulge over 2nd place Milton, with Brantford rounding out 3rd place in the West Division. Okay, your plays of the week now brought to you by Troy Hockey. Troy is the official apparel provider to the Ontario Junior Hockey League.
Baldessera picks this up and gave it away. Martino in alone on Gray, scores!
Kicks it in, intercepted there by Rogers. Rogers gives it up, scores! Roger gives it up, middle of the ice.
Him here on the draw, he wins it back. Page scores! Michael Hage! The call-up gets on the board!
Back to the point, Gomez keeps it in the game. Off to the far side, wow, what a shot, they score!
And so Trent, who still is dominant, shot there, scores. Campbell finally breaks the scoreless drought.
We're back to even strength hockey as Alcaraz jumps out of the sin bin. Down low, a chance, that's a good play shot. Scores, what a goal that was.
Lucas LaPalme. Here goes LaPalme. LaPalme working in, nice hands, fires a shot, scores. Lucas LaPalme dances through.
Sage catching up, McCullum the only player back. To McCullum, or to Sage, they score! Just inside the post!
Face-off is from the Swifton, scores! It's in! Right as the buzzer goes! The Rangers win it in overtime, are you kidding?
And that's all the time we've got for this week's program. But just a reminder, all throughout the regular season and the playoffs, to stay up to date with everything that's going on in the Ontario Junior Hockey League, be sure to check out the league's official social media outlets. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next week.